Hello, my name is Christoff Pauw. I've worked for the Postgraduate and International Office since 2005, and earlier this year in September 2015 I started in a new full-time position at STIAS, the Stellenbosch Institute for Advanced Study, where I will be supporting some of the international and particularly African partnership programs of STIAS. What I can say from just a first impression was that when I started in 2005, there were very little formal institutional connections between universities, certainly between South African universities and elsewhere in Africa. Many connections were individually based and not institutionalized. The institutional connections were typically between the African university and its former colonial or other European or North American long-term country partners, and that's also how many of the student movement and research movement patterns followed. Since 2005, this has changed dramatically. I think African universities are much better informed about what's going on elsewhere in the continent with their counter institutions, not only in the immediate region, but also further across Africa's, let's say, broadly 5 main regions. So for Stellenbosch University, for instance, nowadays it's very easy to make contact with institutions in East Africa especially, but increasingly also in West Africa, some in Central Africa, some on the island states off the coast of East Africa, and of course also in other Southern African countries, which we have formalized by means of student and staff exchange agreements and other forms of collaboration. We have to think about what will make young scholars think of a research career as something interesting, as something that would bring a good income, and as something that would, without them necessarily having to leave their home base and go to the north or elsewhere, but would give them the long-term satisfaction that they require from their careers. And this is where a place like STIAS, we believe, has an interesting role to play, a critical role to play, to show that within the continent there are spaces where scholars can come together, where they can free up their time from the pressures of daily academic life and engage critically in their own interests, in their own research, and contribute this into the global academic sphere.